And we are live. Hey guys, it is Bobby Legs here with another episode of Sunday's Watch Soup. Thanks for joining us. We're here every Sunday at 9 p.m. And I'm here with my trusty sidekick, my partner in crime, my Robin, right?
Yep.
I mean, you can be Batman. I know we talked about this before, but you can totally be Batman if you want. That's okay.
No, I'm Robin, Nightwing. What's the other guy? Red Hood.
Sure. Sure. Sanjay from the Engineer Wannabe channel. Hey, Sanjay, how are you doing today, man?
Very good. Had an unexpected visit this afternoon from all the my brother-in-law and his family. So
Oh, okay.
whole bunch of cousins. The kids had a blast.
Awesome.
They just left. So yeah, I just made it. But yeah, been a great weekend so far. Lots of fun.
Awesome.
How's your weekend been?
Good. What do you got on wrist before I tell you?
I am wearing my Grand Seiko SBGY.
Yeah.
003.
Awesome.
Nice strap you got there. What's that on?
It's a deluxe.
Yes. Very nice.
Dolaro, or I think it's a discontinued strap, so it's going for like 3 times retail. The strap.
Oh, jeez.
Yeah.
Never mind.
No, I'm joking.
We'll scratch that off the list.
Well, anyway, Sanjay, before I tell you how my weekend was, we got to introduce our special guest tonight.
Yes.
YouTube sensation, Average Joe, Joe from Average Joe Watch Reviews. Joe, I'm sorry, Sanjay's head is on your head. A little bit there.
There we go. Hey guys. Thank you so much for having me on the show. This is great.
No problem. Let me get rid of that.
Oh, there we go. Now I have a little bit of room. I was feeling a little claustrophobic there. So
yeah. Well, we just want to make you feel cozy and comfortable.
Oh, you know what? That actually works. So thank you.
Nice.
It's just preparing you for when we come over and crash on your couch.
Yeah, absolutely.
Yeah.
So Joe, man, thanks for joining us tonight. I love your channel. I love your reviews. I feel you're such a down to earth guy, and it portrays in your reviews, and that portrays like honesty, really. You know what I mean? And I appreciate that about you. So how long have you been on YouTube?
So the channel was actually established 2018, but I really started taking it seriously really the beginning of 2019. So I think I'm along the same lines as you, Bobby, where it's been a couple years and it's been a slow grind.
Yeah.
And I'm just having fun, man. I think, do what you love and love what you do. And this has just been a really cool hobby that I actually happen to make a little bit of money at too. So
right. No, that's great, and then all the people that you get to meet, right? I mean,
that's the best thing. I mean, today I get to meet Sanjay for the first time.
Yeah.
You Bobby for the second time. I met you last week on Russell's show, Made Watch Collector. So meeting so many cool people, it's such a great group. The Watch fam is a real thing. It's a real family.
No, absolutely. Now, quick question. We're gonna get to his video soon, but. Josh from Town Watch. Did you know Josh beforehand, or did you guys meet through the hobby?
Well, we actually met through the hobby.
That's awesome.
And I think there was a video that he put out where he said something about Philly. So I said, "Hey, man, I'm from Philly too. Absolutely, good old Rocky Balboa. So we finally met at a park one day, and we
saw
did a
that
nice
video.
collab video. Thank you. That was a pretty cool video, and we just became friends ever since. And
that's great.
It's been great, man. I've just met so many cool people, and you guys are cool too. So I think we'll be friends after this show. So
absolutely. I'm in Jersey, so not that far away. Sanjay is in Canada. Like I have like so many Canadian friends now through the hobby. Like I never knew anybody from Canada before. In my 40s, up to my 47, 48 years before I met people from Canada. You know what I mean? So it's awesome. It's awesome. Now, Joe, what do you have on wrist?
So I have today the Seiko Patty Turtle on a Strapsco Vintage Beads of Rice. So
I like that. Wow.
It's a really cool. I love this watch.
Yeah.
Seiko just, I know a lot of people have issues with QC with Seiko, but I feel like I've hit the lottery because I haven't seen any of them myself. So cross my fingers that'll continue that way because I own a handful of them. So this is a cool watch.
Awesome. That's great. I'm wearing a watch that a subscriber sent in. Well, actually, I met up with him and I get a chance to review the Anordane Model 2. This is an orange fume. This is not really doing justice here. I got a review video coming out tomorrow. Hopefully I get some good outdoor shots so you can really see the fume. Scottish watch, really cool. I've been enjoying my time with it.
Looks like a vintage like trenchy type watch, right?
Yeah, I get that. You get that
vibe to it, yeah.
Sure, absolutely. It's the great thing about Anordane. What's so special about them is that they have their dials are enamel, right? Most of them. And so, or pretty much all of them. And so they have people who are just dedicated in doing that, who have experience and are trained into making these enamel dials. And for the price point, man, it's and if your enamel dials are your thing, you don't have to spend multiple thousands of dollars to get there. For a good quality one, you can get it for around just under $2,000, with some of these watches. So
I actually have one watch that's an enamel dial. It's white, and I have white dials in my collection, but you've never seen white until you've seen enamel white. So,
I agree with you.
And when you put that watch up there on the screen that you just showed me, there was something special about that dial. It really it was very vibrant.
Yeah, I go into it a little bit how they get that fume look on the review, but I leave it up to how it's described. If you want to go, you go to the website and I have the link there. And they tell you how they do it, so it's actually pretty cool.
Yeah.
All right, let's say hello to some of the people in the chat before we get going here. There's Chaz from the Berg. How you doing, Chaz? Wilson's here. AZ Clayton's here. Bruce, what's up? How you doing, buddy? Time Hill is here. Hey Megan, how you doing? Jeff is here. Hey, Torrance here, everyday watch guy. Another guy from Canada that I met via Sanjay, right?
Yeah, awesome.
Peter's here. I know you know Peter.
I know Peter, Sue. Yes, sir. Yeah. Oh, and of course, my buddy from Pennsylvania, Ken Spear, one of my biggest supporters. So, welcome, Ken.
Great guy. Young Excellency, I used to say. JCB, what is going on? How you doing?
Seen a lot of new faces.
Yeah, absolutely.
This is awesome.
And I have a link to Joe's YouTube channel and Instagram in the description.
Thank you.
So guys, please do check him out. He's awesome.
that.
Jared's here. Kevin, what's up, buddy? How you doing? Rick's here. Hey, Rick. Oil Money, what's going on? All right, I'm gonna move along. Oil Money, I didn't curate his post. Hey, Chris from the Watch Lounge.
Oh,
hey, man,
I
thanks,
know Chris.
Man. Appreciate the super sticker. Detroit Spartans here. There's Wilson Justin R. What's up, buddy? Hey, speaking of, there's Town Watch. There's Josh.
Here's my buddy there. Yeah.
Jeffrey's here. David's here. How you guys doing? Let us know what you guys are wearing on wrist as well. Joe B, another Philly guy.
Oh, Philly guy. Hey, what's up there, bud?
Craig G is here. Caliber YQG is here.
Another Canadian.
I love it. I love it, man. I don't like you guys hockey, but I'm a Flyers fan, by the way. I don't know if you're a big Flyers fan. Yeah.
Well, I kind of have to be being from Philly, but
sure.
I'm more of a baseball fan, so I'm Philadelphia Phillies.
Gotcha.
But I don't really care so much about hockey, but I'm definitely Flyers if you were to ask me about a hockey. So, but
gotcha.
Move on.
Okay, Sanjay, did I ask you this? Are you a hockey man? Do you root for?
No. I don't like hockey. It's too violent.
So I guess you don't like MMA then, right?
No.
That's a little more violent than hockey. So.
Yeah, quite a bit.
Hey, Phil. Hey, William, what's going on? Mezzanine, Philly Burbs here. Samurai today, awesome. Okay, so first segment, we're going to do the reviews. Comments. So we're going to go to comments last week on our live stream. We got a few. We got a few. Let me share them up here on our screens. Wolfgang Sanjay is like a box of treasures. Very interesting man. Yeah. Was this no, this wasn't the closet episode, was it?
It was, I think.
It was? Okay.
It was.
Yeah. So Joe,
that sounds wrong though, the closet episode.
Yeah, I just kept my mouth shut on that
one. So Joe, just to give you a little background, we found out that Sanjay has his clothes picked out for the week.
Oh, well, who does that?
Sanjay does.
Oh,
so it was just interesting. It was just interesting.
No, I don't have my clothes picked out. It's more like I have a rotation of clothes because I have to wear every piece of clothing that I own equally. So there's a rotation in my closet where the front is the next clothing item I'm going to wear, and it rotates as it comes out of the laundry. So
do you have like a circular thing going on there, or is it just like straight, like a rack?
It's just straight. It's like first, second, third.
Okay.
Yeah.
And I'm just checking.
Yeah.
Jama Jones, I had the previous version Essence and love it. I think we're talking the Formex here, right? One of the most worn. Otherwise, I'd loan it in. Not afraid to wear it to work or just out for walks. Great overall watch. Yeah, I mean, Formex, I think Formex makes a good watch. Joey B, couldn't catch it live, but fantastic as always. Thanks, Joe. And James, awesome stream to finish the weekend. Bobby Sanjay, see you next week. Thank you, sir. Okay, great. Now, we're going to go to our next segment, the reviews segment, or now I'm going to commonly call, or from now on, call the You're Terrific segment of the show, because Sanjay always brings up You're Terrific. Great reviews. But Sanjay, your segment.
Yeah.
It's all you.
That's a great segue, because we'll just start with your Terrific video. He did a review, and he'll probably make it on every week until he skips a week or something. But yeah,
we should just have him on. Can you reach out to him and say that you're like his biggest fan?
I'll do that, actually. I'll do that. Yeah. Okay. But yeah, he did a video on the Breitling Super Ocean 44. And I was really interested because I had been considering this watch for some time now, and it seems to have exploded in popularity kind of around when Random Rob got his one. I think he owned it, the white dial with the blue. Yeah. Okay, so yeah, it seems like it's just exploded in popularity, and he was talking about how he might be broken. He had access to tourbillons, all sorts of grand complication watches that he could have brought in to review, but he brought in this Bob Standard diver from Breitling, the Super Ocean 44, because he liked it the best, and he thought maybe he was broken. So great commentary. I think it was a little more serious than normal. This review seemed a little more focused. He seemed a little more, maybe it's because he really likes this watch and is actually considering buying it. So he seemed a bit more serious, but it was a great review. Did the watch a lot of justice. He showed off the kind of blue AR coating tint on that black dial. It's so nice. And yeah, I really enjoyed this review. Did you guys have a chance to check it out, Joe?
So I didn't, but as you guys may or may not know, I'm a huge Breitling fan, and I actually own the Breitling Headwinds, and it does. Nice. I'm trying to catch. There you go. So they have the anti-reflective coating on the outers and the underside of the sapphire crystals. So very, very cool aspect of a Breitling. So and that Super Ocean, I call that the budget diver that Breitling has, because I mean you can pick them up for right around $2,800 on Joma Shop if you guys are comfortable with the gray market. So
we like to call it Yoma Shop here. Just so you know.
Now I'm gonna start calling it Yoma Shop now.
I called it Yoma Shop by accident one day, and now nobody lets me go. Anyway, I caught the review, Sanjay, and I'm very familiar with the watch. Again, another great review by You're Terrific. And Joe's right. I mean, like, you can get these watches for under $3,000 all the live long day, and they're just good looking watches. They are. I mean, I don't know, man. Breitling's been doing something right a lot. They've been doing a lot of right things lately, and I know this model's been out for a while, but anyway, I'm just more aware of Breitling. I've always have been, but more so lately because I've been really liking what they've been coming out with, and this is just another example of what they've had in their arsenal for a little while, and good looking stuff. Good looking stuff for sure.
Yeah,
really is.
I wonder what Pete from Not So Obvious watches. He's a big Breitling guy as well. I wonder what he thinks of the influx of support for Breitling. Be good to hear his thoughts.
Well, yeah, I mean, hopefully, I don't know if he's going to be, he's probably at work now since he's in Australia, but if you want to catch the replay, please comment, Pete. We'd love to hear what you have to say.
I'm pretty sure he's actually right now recording on the Watchdog podcast because Clayton was going to have him on. So, yeah.
There you go.
If you guys are watching later, hey guys.
Is there any way we can crash that?
I'll dial up Clayton right now. But yeah, next up was Hodinkey's review of the Cartier tank Solar. So I found that to be really interesting. I didn't hear any criticism. Again, I didn't expect to hear any criticism about it. But they did go into like a little bit of the history of the tank. He mentioned, I forget his name. Really popular Hodinkey editor, but he mentioned that the tank, this tank was, the history of this tank and the fact that this tank was a really good entry into Cartier. The fact that you have 16 years between services and even having to consider replacing the capacitor in the watch seems like a really enticing piece. But yeah, I was wondering if you guys had any thought on the tank specifically. Have you guys ever been, Joe specifically, because I know you, Rob, have been thinking about the Santos and the tank and for a while, right? But Joe, have you ever considered the Cartier tank?
For the money, it's a lot of money for one of those things. But I didn't know they had a solar tank though.
It was this year. It was released this year. So
oh, okay.
Yeah.
Yeah, I always thought they were just the the traditional automatic, but they're a beautiful piece. Very, very classy, and but man, I don't know. It's a little bit out of my price range right now. But yeah, I would love to have one day. I never actually tried one on. I would love to at least try one on and see how it feels. But beautiful pieces, very classy.
Yeah. My interest is peaked. I don't know if I spend the money on. I'm more. I want a Santos much more. Yeah. I prefer the Santos over the Cartier, but my interest is peaking. I think Dan brings up a good point here: is buy a solar tank for 1/10 of the price. And I think I don't think you need to spend as. Look, Cartier has a cachet, but there's just some watches that you just don't touch because you can definitely do a lot better at a lower price point. And I think, Dan hit it on the head here. You can get the solar Seiko solar tank for 1/10 of that price.
Yeah.
There you go.
So, I do like Cartier and I don't slam Cartier at all. And I'm not going to slam this watch, but I just don't think I'd get it. I'm interested, but I just don't think I'd get it.
Yeah.
I think the other thing with me is that when would I wear it? I'd wear it maybe once a year to a special occasion. It's just too fancy. I'm just such a diver fan that
gotcha.
Because I'm such a sporty guy. I'm always getting dirty and jeans and t-shirt kind of guy. But I don't know, maybe if I was a CEO of a company, maybe I'd wear one of those. Right. But not quite there yet. So
I wonder if anyone's put a tank on a NATO. I'm sure it's been done. Be interesting to see.
Yeah.
I know Josh from the Town Watch, he's actually had an eye on the Santos. He's commented there. He's actually tried one on, and he's going to get one day. So I don't know when, but he's definitely seriously looking for one.
Yeah, Josh, are you looking at medium or the large Santos? Let us know.
He's got twig wrists, so I would say the extra tiny if they have one.
Yeah. Yeah, there was Josh's video where he tried to go into the the Cartier boutique was in an ED, and he couldn't get in because of the appointment thingy going on.
Right. Yeah. Exactly. Yep.
Yeah.
Medium stainless steel. Okay. There you go.
More like schmedium, but
yeah.
You can tell we're good friends if I can bust the stones, but he's not even here to defend himself, so I'll stop.
Yeah, that was good. The last one I was gonna bring up was from Hot Ones or Hot Ones. It's a fairly new YouTube channel, kind of blowing up. Really great videography and really great commentary on the watches as well. He did a review of the Speedy Tuesday Ultraman edition. So he got it in again, went into a little bit of the history of Ultraman, the TV show. Even talked about the premise of Ultraman, kind of like Godzilla, I guess. From my understanding, or Power Rangers, but really cool. Well, what would you call it? A really cool tribute piece for Ultraman, and went through all the Easter eggs. So if you guys have any interest in this Speedy Tuesday Ultraman, I think this would be a good video to go take a look at, because he did a great job commenting on it and reviewing it. Really cool box too that it came with. But have you guys seen this video at all? Have you guys had a chance to see the Ultraman at all?
I have. It's anything with some orange highlights I'm definitely a fan of. As you can see in my background, I keep doing that right here. I have the Seamaster Planet Ocean with the orange bezel. I love a little bit of orange. I got an orange NATO here. So yeah, I like the orange highlights on the watch. I mean, I think that's really the only thing that makes it different than the traditional one, if I'm not mistaken. The orange second hand and some orange lettering on the dial, I believe it is, right?
There is also Ultraman appearing on the running seconds if you shine a UV light on it. So really cool Easter egg there.
Oh, that's cool.
Yeah. On the minute subdial, the first 3 minutes are in orange, I think, to signify the amount of time, the amount of power that Ultraman has before he runs out of power, amount of time he has. So really cool Easter eggs on that watch. It's a shame it's going for such a huge premium.
So is that a common thing in Canada, Easter eggs? Like, I mean, I know Easter eggs and Easter eggs hunt, like, describing like little things that may be hidden in common vernacular conversation. Is it Easter eggs? Is that like, I don't think I've ever heard it used that way.
No.
If you're a Doug DeMuro fan, he does a lot of car reviews. I mean, he's got millions of subscribers, so I'm sure you guys have seen him a couple times. They like cars, but one of the big things that he says is this is a cool little Easter egg, and he uses it exactly the same way that Sanjay just did. Yeah, and I got that from him, so I use that too now. So
I got it from like the gaming world when I used to be a gamer. So in video games, there will be secret locations or secret things that are kind of nods to different cultural things, and they're called Easter eggs. Like so because of that, I've always used it in my vocabulary since. So,
all right. So just chalk it up as something that I've never heard before. That's okay, cool.
Yeah
Great watch. Even better review. I mean, the guy is great.
Yes.
It makes sense. It explains why he's doing so well, because he does a really, really good job. Dan is saying Rob is the only one who doesn't like eggs. No, I like eggs. I like eggs. I hear Easter egg used all that way all the time. Really? Like, where have I been, man? Where have I been? Man, I'm not. I guess I'm not in Easter egg country. Young Excellency, I use the Easter egg term, but am a confirmed Canadian. Okay. Heard Wolfgang used to chug those down. Yeah, absolutely. Okay, let's move on. Yeggs. Yeah, okay. Thanks, Kevin. So now let's get back into the meat and potatoes. Let's start off with why we're here. And sure, I'll start off with the video I selected. Jeff McMahon. What watch addicts talk about when they talk about watches. And So let me take. I took some notes here because Jeff, there's a lot to unpack with a lot of his videos, I feel, and he has a buddy who lives near him that he met through the watch collecting community. They had bought and sold watches from each other for a while, and now they talk to each other on a basis on a lot of times basically on their watch addiction, and so Jeff was talking a little bit about what him and Carlos, his buddy, had in common, and some of the things that they found out about each other or found out about himself while talking to Carlos. Is, he's a big Seiko fan, right? At the moment, or has been for years. And then he moved on and bought like a Tudor Black Bay. It sounds like that's not really working out. He said he's stuck in the Seiko design language. That him and his buddy Carlos would wear their Tudors, right? All day, and then when they came back home or it was time to relax, they just felt the need to throw on their Seiko again. So he made the analogy of Dorothy and the Wizard of Oz, and that Seiko was his Kansas. All right. He said the problem with the Seiko is that the design language, right, is very similar. So he likes a lot of the watches that he has. A lot of the Seikos they look the same, right?
Right.
And so then he kept on going, and he's like saying that we worry too much about our watches, right? We worry that if we're not giving a watch the right amount of time, wrist time, am I going to get a scratch on it, etc. And then he started going in and started singing "Baby Come Back." He says that we suffer from a baby come back syndrome, right? The only way to fall in love with our watches is to sell them, he says, miss them, and then rebuy them.
Right.
And then further along, to wrap it up, he was saying that, it's very childish, like him and his buddy Carlos say, this is very childish habits that they're having, that it doesn't complement their age, their watch habits. This is high school drama. And that watches, they become a burden, and you need to wear a watch to justify spending the watches. And, he's saying that the problem is not the watches, it's us. We're actually the problem, right? These are just inanimate objects, right? And so we just need to address our personal situation. And for him, like too many watches, it's like he likes to eat too. He likes to, he loves food, and if he eats too much, he feels sick. You know what I mean? So he just needs to slow down, because he's going down. If he goes down that rabbit hole, he doesn't know if he can ever come back. So I identify a lot with what Jeff says. Maybe not to the extent of him in regards to Seiko, right? But I talk about my watch addiction with my friends all the time, and there's always some common threads that we find. We go. I mean, I know I go through phases where I accumulate a lot of watches, then I feel like I need to purge, right? My collection gets out of hand. I'm not wearing them enough, like Jeff says. So it's like, it's way too much drama. It's way too much effort. This should be enjoyable, but sometimes it doesn't feel enjoyable. So, guys, how do you feel about what Jeff says, or what can you add in your personal watch journey to this? Do you feel some sort of identification? I leave it up to you guys.
Go ahead, Joe.
Baby, come back. You can blame it all on me.
Yeah.
I've never actually had the baby comeback syndrome, really. I can definitely relate to feeling guilty and actually looking at watches almost like I almost look at them like they're human beings. Like, I feel guilty if I don't wear them enough, and therefore I'll put one on the wrist just so I say, okay, I wore it,
Yeah.
So yeah, I think we definitely, I related to that video a lot, and I'm glad I'm not alone. So it almost felt like a little bit of a support group there, and it kind of confirmed that I'm not the only one who's crazy. So so I definitely related to that for sure. And I like your analogy with the whole binging and purging thing, because I can relate to that as well, because if I feel guilty about not wearing certain watches, then I need to purge them and hand them to someone that's going to give them the love that they deserve. So it's crazy. It's like, these are not human. These are not humans, but yet we truly feel sorry for them, and we want to give them to someone that's going to love them, so that's what I got out of the video, and I thought it was very interesting, very very genius way of putting it. So
yeah, Sanjay, what'd you think?
Yeah, I kind of commented on this last night on my live stream, but not fully. But I found it really interesting that he's so tormented. Like how to the I don't know if he's kind of like playing it up a little bit. I don't think he is, but he is so tormented by this hobby, and yet he loves this hobby, and it's such a, a difficult place to be in, and I really don't envy him. I don't envy the agony that he goes through every day. It seems like um, uh, to take care of, I guess, his watches, take care of this addiction. Um, this I think is one video where I couldn't really relate. I mean, I feel like maybe I could have related about 2 years ago. I don't really have that need to wear every watch all the time anymore. It kind of naturally happens to me, and yeah, his. I'm going to reference something he mentioned on, again, the Watchdog podcast. Clayton, he was on, I think, last week, and he mentioned that if there was a blue pill, a pill that you could take, where you would have two watches, and one, say, $1,000 watch, one $500 beater, and you would be happy with it. You could exit the hobby and move on with your life, whether you would take it. And he kind of posed it out to everyone, and he said he would take that pill so fast because he wants out. So he's trapped in this hobby, and he wants out of it, but he can't. And man, that's a really scary place to be in. That's
absolutely.
It's like a heroin addict, right?
Yeah.
Because that's what you hear. Like I've worked with a few people who have addictions, and that's what they say. They hate themselves for taking that next hit, but they have to, and they do it like weeping. They do it crying, because they want out, but they can't. And so I'm starting to feel like a little disconnect from Jeff McMahon. Not that I enjoy his videos any less. I really still really enjoy his videos. He's a great content creator. But I'm really concerned for him.
Yeah. For me, it's like, and I'm just going to talk about me here, right? I'm not going to talk about you guys or anybody else. It's just me. Like, watches are not necessarily the only thing I collect. So I have a little coin collection, right? I have a Jazz Fest poster collection. I had baseball card collections.
Yeah.
I never felt that way about, meaning like the guilt that I feel about not wearing a watch. Like if I spent, now I haven't, but I could probably see myself spending maybe like $5,000 on a coin, let's say, right? Mm-hmm. It's going to be somewhere, right? It's going to be somewhere in my closet. And if it never comes out for a year, okay, maybe once in a while I'll take a look at it, but I'm not spending any time with it, right? So why is that okay, right? Why is the baseball cards sitting in the closet as well? Why is that okay there?
Right.
And then the watches are not. You know what I mean? So like, it's just, I don't know. I don't know what the answer to that is, but that's how I feel. That's why I do, like, I was at a point recently where I had about 10 watches and I felt pretty good, and I wasn't wearing them all every day, and that's fine. Now I'm purging a little bit for a completely different reason, not because I feel like I had too much, but there were times, like, in a previous year or two where I thought like I just had too many watches and they were sitting there. And what I discovered was that I just didn't love every single watch. If I love all the watches, and I don't happen to wear them, I think I'm okay. So if I don't love every piece and it's just sitting there, then that's where I get a little anxious.
Yeah.
I think I might be cured. That was a really cool way of looking at it. Because I too used to collect coins and baseball cards, and you're right. What do you do with them besides look at them here and there? Nothing.
Yeah.
Yeah.
I think my problem with watches, and maybe I should start just buying watches that are broken, is the fact that they work and I need them to continue to work, and I feel guilty if I'm not using them the way they should. So maybe I should just buy a broken watch and I'll feel less guilty.
Yeah. Right.
So, would you guys take that pill if you were to? If you were
No,
offered that pill? Yeah,
no,
Nah, I'm having
yeah,
too
I
much
wouldn't either.
fun.
yeah,
Too much fun.
yeah.
Yeah, so that makes us all here willingly, right?
Yeah,
So
yeah,
we're in
sure.
this hobby out of
It's
our own will.
the
I'm
pain hasn't. The pain is not strong enough yet.
Yeah,
I'm
yeah,
comfortable being uncomfortable.
Yeah.
yeah,
Right? I mean, there's truth in that.
Yeah, absolutely. No, that's absolutely. Pete saying, "Hey, all, I'm with you, Bobby. Collecting watches is zero difference to collecting coins, baseball cards. There is no need to wear them." Right. Um, here we go. I'm with you 100%. You don't have to wear all your pieces in a collection. Dan says he'll take the pill. Pills are good according to Dumb and Dumber. Okay. Awesome. Healthier hobbies should be a relatively harmless fetishisms of commodities. Spotting rare birds is the light side, the dark side of the spectrum being greed and the punishment of eternal regret. But that's way too deep for me.
That is deep.
Thanks, Forbin. I have to wrap my head around that. If this hobby caused anxiety, I would be out of it immediately. Yeah.
yeah.
You know, Chaz. Okay, so let's move on. Sanjay, your topic. Tell us about it.
Yeah, it was a great video from WatchChris. He just got back from vacation, so this is a video he put together after he got back. But he was posing the question whether it's good or safe to travel with multiple watches when you do travel, wherever it may be that you're going. Um, and he was talking about some of the situations and the scenarios that could come up when you're traveling if you go with multiple watches. I have a problem when it comes to traveling with watches because I want all of them with me. I was away for one night a couple of weeks ago, and I took 3 watches with me because I couldn't make up my mind. So this was kind of hitting close to home. But he asked people to consider when you're traveling, if you choose to travel with more watch, you should be considering damaging your watches, or not considering damaging, but consider the possibility of them getting damaged. And he was talking about, you might drop your bag that they're in. If you want to minimize any sort of damage, consider a watch case rather than a watch roll. You might not be able to take as many watches, but they're safer. And he also was talking about considering the possibility of all your watches getting stolen or lost. So he mentioned never put your watches in checked luggage, which is basically, he said it's obvious, but some people might do it. And we hear all the stories about how luggage is lost and it goes to the other side of the planet somehow. This is just begging for that to happen. If you do that, it's a horrible idea. So don't check your watches into checked luggage. Always carry it on with you. If you do decide to take multiple watches, and then there might be a chance that someone might steal them if they steal your luggage somehow. Or the third option was, once you get to the hotel, you may think it's safe inside the room safe, but the chances are, there are people, which not chances are, there are people inside the hotel that can access your safe, because people forget stuff and leave them in safes and stuff like that. So there are people who can enter your room and take what's in your safe. And they're not really that secure, other than maybe if you forget to close your door, and maybe a passerby walks in and is not able to get to your safe. But what are the chances of that happening? All the doors kind of auto lock anyway, right? So you're not kind of out of the woods. So you're taking on this risk when you're traveling with multiple watches. And he mentioned that you could put in one of these deadbolt padlock things onto a safe. And he mentioned if you do that, people who see that are going to think there's something in there worth a lot of money. If this guy is willing to put a padlock on the safe also. So you're kind of inviting trouble there. So really, really great points from from WatchChris here about traveling with watches. He also went into a story about a kind of experiment that he did in his safe in his hotel rooms. So in one of the rooms, his safe's battery died, and he wasn't able to access the watches he had put in it. And in the other hotel, he actually asked. He pretended that he forgot the code that he put in to see if anyone would come in and unlock it. So there are people who are able to unlock it, and he kind of confirmed that theory, and it makes sense. But yeah, some really some great food for thought the next time you travel, whether you're willing to take that many watches with you, or leave it at home where it's theoretically safe at home. Not 100% there either, right? Because people can break in when you're away if they know you're gone. Um, it's kind of a minefield when you start to think about it. Your watches are never really secure. You think you're going to take it to the bank, put it in the safety deposit boxes. There's so many stories of safety deposit boxes being accidentally cleared out, and all you people losing thousands or hundreds of thousands of dollars. So yeah, we're kind of between a rock and a hard place when it comes to these things. So yeah, what do you guys think? Do you guys get a chance to watch this video?
That was a very, very thorough synopsis, but you
well done,
but you missed the only takeaway that I got out of the video, which is he drives his wife absolutely nuts.
He does.
No, but seriously, it actually made me think to myself, if I were to travel with watches, I would never put them into a safe. I would actually buy one of those like Pringle can safes or the shaving cream safes, something that is not obvious.
Yeah.
And I think the point that he made, which was really valid, which was like that padlock thing.
Yeah.
That's really just, you might as well put a ribbon on it saying, "Hey, open me." It really is sparking curiosity, even for someone that may not even necessarily even want to go into that safe, but now you're like, whoa, there's got to be something special. I wonder what's in there.
Yeah.
So it was a very interesting video. I actually would have never even thought about these points. And me personally, I do travel with a couple watches, and I think I would definitely maybe just travel with one. And if I did travel with a couple, I would definitely not put it in a safe, but put it somewhere where no one would even think about looking. So
yeah,
that's what I would do too. I always hide things in plain sight. So whenever I'm traveling, they're not in the safe. I never use the safe. They're hidden in plain sight. So
I when I travel, I just typically just travel with one watch. So this has not been an issue. Although in the next few weekends, I will be going away, and it'll be going to a wedding, right? So I'm going to be staying at the city that I'm going to be going to a couple days, and so I want to bring two watches, right? I want to bring a dress watch because I have a couple now, and I want to bring whatever my everyday kind of watch situation. So it is gonna now I have something to think about, right? And so I'm probably not going to use a safe. I'm going to probably do the hide in plain sight kind of strategy, or maybe just keep it in my suitcase, that's out there, right? It's not like we're only going to be there for like a day or two, so it's not we'll probably won't have any kind of like cleaning service. I don't know, whatever the wife wants, but I'll just probably just keep it in there. And if I'm going to go away for a long period of time, and I would seriously just not even worry. I just bring one watch, my travel watch. And so be it, that'll have to be worn in every single situation. If that's what I'm really worried about, I'm not going to bring 3 or 4 watches. That's just, I never did that anyway. So,
right.
Because man, growing up where I grew up, man, everybody, and having my house broken in a couple of times, I don't trust anybody, when I travel. So,
I thought for sure you'd be the one taking a few watches, because you change watches.
I do.
Multiple times a day, right?
I do, and that's only okay at home.
Yeah,
right.
So this is like the neurosis. This is like what the psychotic obsession with watches. I have certain rules, right? We all have certain rules, so I can rotate as many watches as I want at home. I'm only bringing one with me when I'm traveling, though, and that's the one staying on my wrist. like whatever stupid nonsense rules that we place on ourselves and our watches.
Yeah, my entire live stream yesterday was based on those weird rules. So
speaking of, Oil Money had a comment. It kills me how Sanjay thinks Jeff McMahon is a tortured soul. Have you heard his thoughts on spring bars?
There you go.
So Sanjay basically had Joe a whole live stream yesterday dedicated, not all dedicated to spring bars, but how he's annoyed by spring bars.
Okay.
It's about 40 minutes of spring bar talk.
I'm gonna have to catch that.
Yeah. Navy Blue Monster. I only wear one watch on a bracelet and bring a couple shafts. Hey, that's a pretty good idea, actually.
Yeah.
Yeah, that is a good idea.
Yeah.
Just don't lose a spring bar.
Yeah.
Right.
You might want to carry one of these with you.
Yeah.
Yeah. Hey, Amin. Thanks for joining us. Appreciate it. Okay. Yeah, Peter C. It was mostly about spring bars. Okay. Let's move on to a pretty informative video. I thought pretty good video that Joe has selected, and the town watched the 5 problems with YouTube watch reviewers. Tell us about it, Joe.
Yeah, so my buddy Josh Town put out a video regarding the 5 problems with YouTube reviews, and I thought he really hit the head of the nail in regards to bias. As much as we, as YouTubers, all of us here are YouTubers, we always say it's a non-biased video, and there's always innate bias, whether or not we are or not. We are. There's just we can't help it.
Right.
So really the gist of the video was, first of all, there's room for all of us watch reviewers because, you get differing opinions, but don't rely just on our opinions. You need to actually feel the watch, see how much it weighs, how does it fit on your wrist? And Josh actually has another video, which was the 5 positives of YouTube watch reviews, but and you could definitely check that out. But the 5 problems really was about our innate biases and how we are limited with, if you are a consumer of a watch our videos with a grain of salt, because I'm going to say something different than Bobby, and Bobby's going to say something different than Sanjay. And that's just the way it is. And as much as we want to try to be objective, there's always going to be that subjectivity. And I really enjoyed the video, and I definitely invite you guys to do as well. What did you guys think of the video?
Yeah, I mean, I think Josh really nailed it, and I just like Josh's take through it, because he does take both sides of it, as the sides of the viewer and the side of the YouTuber, and it kind of does a really a good job of explaining it from both angles, and a really just sound judgment by him. So having said that, he's absolutely right. Fit, finish, and feel cannot be fully portrayed on a video. Hard to avoid all bias. Absolutely true, because I think, I don't know, but if I'm into a watch, I think you can hear it in my voice and in the video. If I'm into it, if I'm not into it, you can also hear that too, and that definitely has an effect on the viewer. The reviewer is human, and mistakes are made. I make mistakes all the time. I make mistakes. I leave things out. I make mistakes. I do it so often that I actually have now these pop-ups that come in, and they'll correct me if I make a mistake, or they'll add more information if I leave something out. That's just the way I am. I'm still haven't figured out how to make videos yet for YouTube. I'm terrible.
Same here, man.
Yeah, exactly. And it's just one person's experience, right? One person's experience with the watch. Joe, you were saying you got to go out there. You got to go try on watches. Use the reviews as maybe a guide, right? Or just like, opening the door on the subject, just so you get an idea of what it is, and then actually go try it on yourself, right? I mean, I use reviews all the time. to help me formulate an opinion. And I try to watch multiple reviews from a series of content creators that I either value their opinion because they're going to be honest. Well, mostly, yeah, because they're going to be honest, right? So, but they're all have different takes, right? They're not all spewing the same kind of information. So, yeah, great video by Josh. Sanjay, what did you think?
Yeah, it was a really great video. I did like the fact that he mentioned you really got to try on the watch. You could see it as many videos as you want to on a watch, and you might think you have a good handle on what it feels like, what it looks like, but chances are you're not going to know. And there is no way for a YouTube reviewer to relay that information to you to its fullest potential, unless if you're like that YouTuber's twin or something, and the wrist is the same size, and you can kind of get a feel for it. Even then, you really can't get all that you can out of it. So that was a really great point that he made. But the bias point was really great from Josh. Like even myself looking back, I remember talking about Grand Seiko and the thicknesses not being that bad. Now, being about a year removed, I'm like, you know what? The thicknesses are a little difficult to stomach, once you kind of move on from there, you notice that was your bias. You love the watch that much that you were telling people the thickness really isn't that bad. And now looking back, you're like, yeah, it was something that you wanted to put up with because you love the watch, right? And that's 100%, subjective, not objective. But yeah, so really, he hit the nail on the head on that video. Definitely go check out the previous week as well.
Yeah,
previous week's video was really good too.
AJ saying every. I'm sorry, Joe. Go ahead.
No, yeah, go ahead.
AJ saying every watch reviewer, YouTuber should have a video on what they value most in watches, so people know the person's bias. I think. I mean, I think that's a good idea. However, if you make that video once 2 years ago, it kind of, you know what I mean? Like it'll be something that'll be hard to circulate. So I think, in a sense, that we could probably, or I'll speak about me. I could probably be better or portray better what I find important about a specific watch and why is it I find it value in it. Every time I do a review, I try to give the positives and negatives, but I should get more personal and let you know why I really like something and why I really don't like something, and would I buy it with my own money or not.
Yeah, 2 points. There's 2 points I wanted to make. First, Bobby, you were saying about the mistakes made. I need to do a better job of just having a checklist and just keeping it on the side and hitting on all the points that I need to make.
Yeah.
And also, Sanjay, you made a good point as well in regards to, like, I might have made a video last year on a watch, and I'll do the same watch this year, and I'll have a completely different view of the watch because I have more knowledge, more wisdom. Maybe my taste changed over the past year. So that's where the bias does come in. I mean, I could do the same watch year in and year out, and it'll be a different review every single time.
Yeah, I get comments on older videos that people people have watched and they comment on it, and I have to rewatch to see what I had said.
Right.
And I cringe so hard, not because the video quality is bad, which it is bad, but I cringe so hard at the dumb stuff I'm concerned about with the watch at that time. I had a Longines Hydro Conquest review, and I was talking about, the winding, you can't really feel what you're doing, so it doesn't feel that great. Now I'm like, oh, it's so smooth, it feels buttery. And I love that you can't really feel that much. It's so refined, but back then I wanted to feel like a weird resistance.
Yeah.
So it's yeah. Yeah.
Have you guys ever had like someone disagree with you on a 2-year video, and then then you comment back saying, yeah, you know what, I agree with you. I was
So funny you should say that. I got a comment on a video that I did a review on a G-Shock, the DS DW5600, the one you could get for $40 on Amazon. Really, really, really great video. I mean, really great watch, right? And the guy wrote something to the effect that, you didn't really review the watch here, and and I didn't go back. I'm sure I did a review. And I know I reviewed the watch, and I'm sure that I gave a review. But I just, wrote back, thanks for the input. I mean, because that person's probably right. I mean, especially early on when I first started making videos, like I didn't know what I was doing. And but have you, Joe?
Yeah, I always felt like my first videos were more of like a tour instead of a review, where I didn't really have an opinion so much to say, as I'm just kind of touring the watch. And I rewatched, like, with Sanjay saying, like, I cringe at those videos, because I'm just like, man, I have gotten better, but I'm definitely not where I want to be.
Yeah.
Where at least now I'm giving actual opinions, like, this is good, this sucks, I wish they could do this better.
Yeah.
Or if it's a watch that came in from a micro brand, I'll never say it sucks, but here's what they could do better.
Yes, yeah.
Something
Absolutely.
like that. Always constructive criticism, because I always go by that golden rule, like, what would I want done to me? So I wouldn't expect every reviewer to say my watch is the best thing since sliced bread, but if they were to say something was negative, okay, but how would you make it better? And then that would help me, and then I could produce a better product. So, and that's how I feel like I've grown in my journey.
I'm with you on that. I like to be constructive with my criticism. I don't slam any watch. I don't say this is the worst watch ever, or this that's just not me personally. But I will give my opinion where I think it needs to improve and critique that. And I also will give it a lot of praise where I think what it's done well. So I think if you slam something, if you get too negative, that's just like you're just trying to get attention,
Yeah, I mean, that's got to be your shtick. I mean, you have to be like, you're like Archie Luxury. That's his shtick. That's what he's popular for. Is he really like that? I doubt it. I think that's just a role that he plays on YouTube, and people love it. I mean, me personally, I don't, but I'm just one person. I mean, the guy's got a lot more subscribers than I do. So I mean,
yeah. But some people like that, I guess. That's just not me.
Right.
Not me.
Exactly. Yep.
Well, this has been awesome, guys. Getting close to 10 o'clock. Sanjay knows this is my bedtime. When he gets to my age, when you guys get to my age, well, I think we're kind of close in age, Joe, right? I mean,
I'm 43.
Maybe not. Yeah, I'm older. I'm way older. I'm 48. So, anyway, I need to go to sleep early every night.
I'm with you. I'm definitely with you.
Oh man. So, Joe, what do you got coming up next week or this week, video wise? Do you have anything out there you want to promote?
Yeah, actually, ironically, the Town Watch, we did a video together, and he actually doesn't know this, but we did this I would say we did this video about 3 months ago, and I'm finally putting it out. But in this video, it actually shows where he got the inspiration for the 5 problems with YouTube reviews, because he actually goes into that a little bit. And I saw that light bulb moment during that video. So if you guys watch it, you might see the light bulb shine. So
start staring off into the distance.
Yeah. So what we're doing is rookie mistakes. I haven't titled it yet, but it's going to be something along the lines of rookie mistakes that we've made as watch enthusiasts. So it's a very interesting video. Us laughing at ourselves and just talking about the stupid things that we've done, man. Yeah, and maybe you guys can relate. So
I've done a lot of stupid things, man.
Yeah.
So
it sounds like a fun conversation. So I'm looking forward to it.
Yeah, I hope to see you guys in the comment section.
Yeah.
Sanjay, what about you, man?
I don't think I have anything going this week, except for the live stream that I do Saturday night. So.
Oh yeah, and by the way, I'm not going to be. I think I told you this, but next Sunday I'll be going away for the weekend. So Sanjay will be on his own.
Yeah.
For Watch
Be
Soup.
one of those episodes where Batman is incapacitated and Robin has to take
right,
the lead.
right. You have to go save. Maybe you'll ask Catwoman to help you.
Yeah.
Because there was a Catwoman, right? There was a cat. Yeah, there was a Batgirl and a Catwoman.
Yes.
Right. Right. Maybe you can have Catwoman on and Batgirl.
That would be interesting.
That'd be great. That'd be great.
There you go.
And a couple review videos coming out this week. Always Friday night. Watch chat with the guys as well. Guys, thank you so much, chat, for being here. And as always, and with the great comments, Joe, it was a pleasure, man.
I had a lot of fun.
Yeah.
Thank you so much.
No problem, man. Come back anytime you want. We'll love to have you on.
I will definitely be back.
Definitely. And have a good night, y'all. Take care.
Hey, guys.